Live from Pawtucket, it's a mad show. Welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Stephen Buckner, joined by my lovely co-host, PJ Pat Tierney. And tonight, as always, we're going to talk about movies. And a little later, we're going to talk about a couple that I saw. I saw Roofman, and I also saw, I just blanked on the second movie I saw. I'll think of what it is when we get to. But first, I want to talk about the movie that you got to go see, one that I wanted to go see and didn't even realize it was playing locally. But the new version of Frankenstein.
The Guillermo del Toro. I like his films. I really like Pan's Labyrinth. That's definitely among a long list of my favorite movies. So I wanted to see what he would do with Frankenstein, as it had been a pet project of his for a long time. So I had never seen the 1931 film, so I'll kind of start there briefly. So I watched that one first, and then I went and found Apple Cinemas was showing the new Netflix Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein movie. So I don't have Netflix, so I wanted to see it, so I went to go see it. And I thought it was good. There were a couple of things I thought were added in by, like modern add-ins, but I've started and I intended to finish the book, but I got distracted by another book in order to prepare for this show to talk about all three. But a couple of things I thought were add-ins apparently are not, because they're right there in the beginning of the text. In the text, it's a little bit slightly different than how they get in the film, but it's no different than like just some of the small variations of how Tolkien did something in the Lord of the Rings films. Not violating the text, just a small different interpretation of this or that. And I thought that Oscar Isaac did a really good job as Frankenstein, and it really encompasses the question that you get when you read or watch Frankenstein: who is the monster? Is the monster the creature, the creation, or is the monster the creator? And in the 1931, it also drags in society, and the villagers who are righteously angry in that film about the little girl who was killed, and they become a monster as well. But that who is the monster question is prevalent in this film, and it's handled very well.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I would still like to see it in the theater rather than watching it on Netflix, because I find watching things on streamers, my attention is not very focused on the movie. I found that with some of them that I watched recently. So if it is available in the theater, I would like to go see it. And I do like the works of Guillermo del Toro. I don't know that I've seen a movie of his that I've disliked.
Yeah.
So I do look forward to that. So I'm glad to hear it was good. And I am curious to compare it. I've seen the original 1931 version of Frankenstein. One that you might be curious to go see is the one that they did, I think it was in the 90s, with Kenneth Branagh and
with
Robert
Lockhart.
De Niro. And that one was an attempt to be more true to the novel.
Yeah, more like the book, because that was Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, much similar to Bram Stoker's Dracula, which had Sirius Black.
Yes.
In that one.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. So one thing, this is unrelated to any movies, but on the last show I talked about how I tried to watch a lot of horror movies in anticipation of our Halloween show. It's the one time of year when I do try to watch a lot more horror things than I normally do. And one thing that I had recorded, I think it might have been on after our show, so I didn't get to see it by the time we did our show, or I don't really remember when it aired, but I think it was last Sunday, so I think it was after our show. But the new It
Yeah,
prequel
because
show.
the
Welcome
show
to Derry.
has dropped. I haven't watched any of it yet, but
I watched the second episode aired just last night, and I still hadn't watched the first episode. So I tried watching the first episode, and I could tell that it was after Halloween because my threshold for watching horror has diminished greatly. And just a few minutes into watching the show, I'm like, why am I watching this? The need to see something for the benefit of the show was gone, and it was like I was torturing myself by watching.
yeah.
I did watch the entire episode, but by the end, because I was watching it because I knew there was going to be a new episode, so I wanted to see the first one. It's like, I'm not watching that second one again tonight. Watching one of these episodes in the evening is enough. That's coming out at 9 o'clock at night. I'm not watching it that way. I'm still on the fence as to whether I'm going to watch the second episode. But it is well done. I did find that I liked all the characters that they've introduced so far. They're actually interesting characters. It's just that it was kind of bloody and graphic and gory, which is not really what I like in horror movies.
Yes.
And I don't remember it being that way so much. I mean, it's been a while since I saw the last version of it.
I mean, the Georgie scene is a bit bloody.
Yeah. See, I just don't really remember that much. And I'm just like a little, because it's been a while since I've watched it or even the 90s It. And I've never read the book. But I'm a little, I find like I'm a little just befuddled by what Pennywise is. Because he's not a ghost.
He's not a ghost.
Not supernatural. He's not like a demon.
No, he's kind of an interdimensional alien creature. He came from outer space.
Yeah, so I get like a little confused as to what are the limits to his powers, like what he can do. Because the opening scene is a pretty creepy scene. And, but I'm like, wait a minute, can he be multiple people at the same time? It's like I was just kind of confused. It's like, can he do that?
He's basically not a Dementor, but a Boggart from Harry Potter.
Yeah. He essentially becomes whatever you fear, and he feeds on people's fear, right? That's his whole thing. But he was doing stuff that I'm like, and really, actually, you don't even see Pennywise in that first episode. I mean, he's there because he's torturing these kids with things, but he doesn't show up in the guise of the Pennywise the clown. But as I'm watching it, I'm just like this doesn't seem like. I mean, it is like it because it's telling the story of these groups of outsider kids that are all sort of being tormented by him, and they get drawn together. So it's almost like a remake of it. But at the same time, what they're being tortured by doesn't remind me of. It's almost there's like this mutant baby that's attacking them, and it's almost more like a slasher thing than.
Well, one of the sources that they used for this is in the It novel. Mike Hanlon's doing a whole bunch of research on all the times Pennywise has come back.
Yeah, it's always like 30 years.
Yeah, every 30 years. And he goes back, and there's a whole thing with this bar in town that burnt down, and one of the people who survived that wound up working at The Shining, the Overlook Hotel. What's his name?
The one played by Scatman Crothers.
Yeah.
And he is in this show.
Yes.
And they haven't identified him by name, but thanks to the internet and people not keeping spoilers out of headlines, I know that who his character is.
Yeah.
Without it having been revealed in the show yet. But
it's King Louis. It's old King Louis from the Jungle Book.
Yeah. So no, King Louis was actually Louis Prima, not Scatman Crothers.
And it was the cat from Aristocats, because he did a voice.
Yeah, I know he was the voice of Hong Kong Phooey that I used to watch. But anyway, the movies that I went to go see, that was a tangent I didn't intend to do on the air. But I went to go see a movie called Good Fortune, which is probably right on the verge of disappearing from theaters. It's down to like a couple showings a day. But it was one I was looking forward to seeing, and during the Halloween month, when it came out, I didn't really get to go see it. So I was looking forward to going to see it. It stars Keanu Reeves as a guardian angel, and he's sort of a naive guardian angel, and he's stuck with a job that he doesn't like doing. Basically, he's taking care of people who are texting and driving and keeping them from getting into accidents. And he wants to do more than that. He wants to do like something more substantial and feel like he's actually really helping people. So one of the people that he was helping with the texting and driving, he kind of realizes that the guy is like on the verge of being suicidal because he's just so unhappy with his life. And he makes this, he texts something about, I forget exactly what he says, but something along the lines of, my life isn't worth living. So he decides that this guy is a lost soul, and this is his opportunity to do something bigger and better than what he's been doing. And of course, he's kind of naive and a little inept, and he ends up screwing things up. What he does, and it kind of has like almost a It's a Wonderful Life type vibe, where what he does is he ends up, the main character is played by Aziz Ansari, who actually also directed the movie. And he ends up switching his character's life with that of a character played by Seth Rogen, who is this ultra wealthy venture capitalist that Aziz Ansari had temporarily worked for. So he switches their two lives. So it's almost a trading places type of thing as well. So, and of course, he thinks that Aziz Ansari is going to see that, being rich is not going to solve all his problems and want to go back to his life. And of course, that doesn't happen. He's very happy being ultra wealthy. And of course, Seth Rogen is pissed off that now he's, practically homeless with no job. And so that's basically the premise of the movie. For a comedy, it wasn't quite as funny as I had hoped it would be. I mean, I did laugh quite a few times in watching it. Not that it's, not funny at all, but it does have some serious themes, and it actually has some pretty solid social commentary in it. So it is worth seeing because, it does sort of say something about people who are scraping just to get by, having to work, 2 or even 3 jobs just to make ends meet. It really does have something to say about where we are as a society. And then there's people who are dropping, hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy a wristwatch, So it has a little bit to say on where our society is right now. So I thought it was very of the times. I just wish it had been a little sharper with the humor, or if it wasn't going to be sharper with the humor, have a little bit more of an emotional punch, because it really doesn't have that. Like, It's a Wonderful Life has that emotional punch to it. So, but I enjoyed it. All the people in it were good. Keanu Reeves was good. Keke Palmer is also in it, and Sandra Oh. She plays Keanu Reeves' angel boss. So it was an interesting movie. When it shows up on some streaming thing, which I'm sure it will, you could give it a chance. I don't know how much longer it's actually going to be in the theaters.
Yeah.
The other movie I went to go see was Roof Man, which is another kind of smaller movie, which I don't think has made very many waves in the theater. And that's one that's based on a true story of an escaped convict who in the movie is played by Channing Tatum. And he needs to lay low before his buddy can get him the fake credentials he needs to get himself out of the country. So he tells him, find a place where you can stay out of sight and no one's going to see you and don't talk to anyone, blah, blah, blah. So he breaks into a Toys R Us.
Oh,
and
that's
basically-
that one.
Yes. So he hides out in this Toys R Us for like almost a year without getting caught. I mean, he eventually does get caught because of his own folly.
Yeah.
But he's there for quite a long time. And it is an interesting movie. It's not really a heist movie, but it almost has that feel of a heist movie because you want to see, like, how is he going to get away with this? It's like, obviously, he's going to get caught. But he keeps, he really was a smart person, was the way he set things up. And it worked really well. And, like, if it wasn't based on a true story, the movie would seem unbelievable. Because there's so much happening that's like, how does he not get caught? But it really happened in real life. And the movie actually has archival news footage from the time where, when he was caught. And they have interviews with people that knew him and interacted with him. So it was pretty interesting. Not exceptional, but I liked it. Kind of a little bit of a feel-good movie, even though it's about a criminal. So, that it is worth seeing. There was a lot of movies that came out in October, and there was not the opportunity to go see them all. I know we both wanted to go see Tron Ares, and still have not seen that.
I mean, it's like you said, it's the internet. The internet decided that Tron Ares was terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it is or not. I haven't watched it yet.
There's always some big movie like that when it comes out, the internet just decides that it's a flop or it's garbage, not worth seeing, and people buy into that. And and Tron Ares is not the first movie for that to happen. I mean, there's been other more high-profile movies that's happened to. It just, I don't know. To me, it seems odd for that to come out in October. Because that, to me, seemed like a big tentpole movie.
Like a November Thanksgiving or
You
December.
would think it would have come out around the holidays, around Thanksgiving or around Christmas, where more people would have seen it. Or even in the summer. When the trailers first started coming out, I thought it was coming out in the summer. And I was shocked to see that it was actually coming out in October. So I wonder if Disney really didn't have much faith in the movie after it was made, and maybe that's why they... But October really isn't normally a dumping ground. September is usually like a more of a dumping ground.
I mean, I only saw the first Tron this year, just recently. Saw it on DVD, borrowed a friend's DVD. And back in 2012, 13 years ago, I saw Tron Legacy. And there's another movie or short film that takes a direct sequel to Tron Legacy called Tron the Next Day.
Oh, see, I didn't see that.
And then there's a video game that takes place in between as well.
See, I saw Tron Legacy. I've never seen Tron. And I kind of wanted to go back and watch the first Tron before going to see Tron Ares. So maybe I still will have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Tron Ares is going to stay in the theaters a little bit longer. But unfortunately, in November, we're heading towards Thanksgiving and Christmas, and the theaters are going to get crowded. So a lot of these ones not doing well are just going to get pushed out. And there's some others that I wanted to see that I haven't had the opportunity. The Smashing Machine with The Rock. I thought that looked interesting. I wanted to see it, and I don't even know if that's still in the theaters. I think that might be gone already. There was another movie that came out, which I really honestly had no interest in seeing, with Julia Roberts, which I think is still in theaters. And I thought it would be one that would be an Oscar buzz type movie that, even though I had no interest in seeing it, I figured I probably would eventually see it just to be informed when we do our Oscar picks. But it's like I haven't heard much in the way of anyone like praising Heap, or heaping praise rather, praising Heap. Zummy Gummy over here with the spoonerisms. But I really haven't heard much in the way of accolades for that movie, so maybe it won't get Oscar buzz.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times it's these things that don't even come out locally until January.
Well, and that's very similar to the Frankenstein. Like you had mentioned, you had looked for it and you didn't find it. I had only happened to do a extra thorough search because I really wanted to see it, and I didn't want to pay for Netflix in order to see it.
Netflix, it's like, I don't know, they give like such little promotion for when they actually do have a theatrical release for their movies. And it's like, and the thing with Netflix the last few years is they, for a while there, they were pushing to have their movies in the theater to get them like Oscar recognition. But the last couple of years, it's like they really don't put a lot of their movies at all in the theaters. And when they do, with something like Frankenstein, it's literally just for a week so that they can get the qualifications for Oscar nominations.
Because the third Benoit Blanc movie comes out this year.
That is going to get a limited release.
And that's getting a limited release. So I know I saw Glass Onion at a showcase cinema, but I don't know whether this third one will be.
I think I saw something, and I thought this was something that might have been of interest to you. And I can't remember what theater I saw was going to be doing this, but somewhere they were going to have a marathon showing Knives Out, Glass Onion, and then Wake Up Dead Man. And it's like, that would be fun to go see all the, I mean, it would be a long day.
Hey, but we sat through 11 hours of Lord of the Rings on New Year's Day.
I know. After doing that, it's a lot easier to do any other. I was tempted, that same theater that we went to for that was having a Halloween marathon of horror movies, which they were going to be starting at 11:30 at night.
Oh, and going
overnight watching horror movies, and then like in the next morning, I don't know if there was anything going on in the morning there. That was another one that was doing the same thing. But one of the movies they were going to be showing was An American Werewolf in London. And that's one for the last couple of years I've been telling myself I should watch that for our Halloween show, and I still have not watched it. And that movie is like 40 years old, and I still haven't seen it. And I want to see it because it's considered like the pinnacle or the quintessential werewolf movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, I kind of enjoy werewolf movies. Not all of them are good, but I do enjoy those type of movies.
Well, give yourself a pass because that movie is, 40 years old?
Yeah.
And I just saw a movie that was 94 years old for the first time.
That's true.
So give yourself a pass.
Yeah. I'll let myself get by with that one. Yeah, there's a lot of movies out there that, like, if they came out, like, when you were too young to go see it, like Tron. I mean, I probably was maybe the right age to go see Tron, but not at an age
What
to
I
go
loved
see it
about
myself without an adult taking me. So obviously there was no adult that was interested in going to see that movie at the time.
What I loved about the original Tron was just that place in the CGI technology of 1982, and really just that jump from 92 till 93 or 91 Terminator 2, 93 Jurassic Park, 95 Toy Story. But that's really about 13 years, and that jump, how that jump happened, and seeing those effects as primitive as we would call it now, like they just look so much better than CGI effects look in most movies today. It's not their fault. The artists are completely overworked.
Yeah. They get limited time to...
And then they film everything in the volume, so it's nothing but CG around them.
Yeah.
and nothing to react to. Like,
I do like movies like Guillermo del Toro is one, going back to Frankenstein, who I think is enamored with keeping as much as possible practical. I mean, I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know if it is that way, but I know with previous movies, he likes to have practical effects, whether it be
yeah.
puppetry or makeup effects or whatever.
One of the things that I liked about the Frankenstein film was that, and this is a deviation from the book, but our public consciousness of Frankenstein's experiment is that lightning storm and using the lightning
Right.
and electric power to create life, and that's not in the book. He uses some sort of like dark magic or something. It's not really expanded on in the book. I know you said you've read it a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't really remember because I've got that lightning storm ingrained in my memory
Right.
because of the movies.
So it's not in it. That is a 1931 film. Electricity was relatively new, not super new, but relatively new.
It'd only been around like maybe 50 years.
Yeah.
So.
And so that was the highlight of it, and that's what the public consciousness and the culture knows Frankenstein to be. And Del Toro took that into account, and like, do you stay closer to the original text or do you use that? And that's one case where the two texts talk to each other, and you have to have that middle ground and use kind of a nuanced reference to the classical film and not exactly the way that the book does it.
Yeah. Plus, if you're remaking something that is so part of the public
And iconic.
consciousness and iconic, exactly, if you're going to remake that, you should try to make your own version of it. Don't just copy
Yeah.
what's come before. Otherwise, there's no reason to have a remake. So we've basically come to the end of the show, but that was a good conversation about Frankenstein. So thanks for everyone for watching. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and there are movies coming out this November that are worth seeing. I forget what's coming out next week because my mind was focused on Frankenstein coming out next week. But I do know there are some other movies, and at the end of the month, of course, is the new Wicked sequel. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Yeah, I want to check out Apple Cinemas now and see if Apple Cinemas, I think, has opened at Providence Place Mall, so I wonder if they have it playing there.
Oh, wait, Providence Place Mall changed to Apple?
They took